Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com and I have missed you guys so much. I've got something really exciting to share today. The first Gemstone Orphanage tween box, which is not part of their subscription. So if you are a subscriber to that, you're not going to get this one automatically. This is one you can pick up on its own, whether you're a subscriber or not. And there's only a limited number of these available. So once they're gone, they're gone. That said, if you are really interested in this one, you might want to hop onto their website. I have the link right down below the video in the description section that will take you right to this on their shop. And I'll also have a link to their subscription down below, which ships every 2 months. And again, that's separate from this box we're going to look at today. Now, from what I understand, this one is packed full of so many goodies, just like they have in their subscription packages, which you may have seen me start to unbox here. And just like those, you're going to have a gorgeous Gemstone Orphan, which is the centerpiece, I think the focal of the box. It's a high quality, one-of-a-kind, unique and registered gemstone pendant that goes along with the theme. And surrounding that in the box is going to be a large number of your supporting cast and characters, as they've referred to them before, to help turn your Gemstone Orphan into a beautiful piece of jewelry art. The extras we're going to see today are also some additional gemstone beads, crystal, glass, and metallic beads, and also a number of findings and stringing materials, again, all to go along with the once in a blue moon theme, which I think is well thought out since the once every 33-month event is actually happening on August 30th. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this one and see exactly what's inside. All right, spend an evening with your stone mate. And as they do for their subscription, we have an organized list of all of the contents. They've separated them out between what you'll find in their gift box, which includes that Gemstone Orphan, also the strands, and then the separate bags. And it says there's even more on the back, which is amazing. You are definitely going to get your money's worth out of this one. So I'll probably be doubling up some of these as I show them to you just for the sake of time. But look at this, it goes on to a total of 47 different items with an overall retail value of $110.70. And by picking up this once in a blue moon box, you can get everything that we're going to check out today for $44.95. And it looks like they have a $6 flat rate shipping charge with shipping offered to the United States. And if it's not already working, they are trying to figure out an option to ship to Canada. So we better get started with all that we have to take a look at. I'm going to begin by looking for that gift box so we can get a close look at our Gemstone Orphan and then see how everything else in this package will coordinate around it. So here is a peek of everything that we are going to be checking out, including that organza bag chock full of the additional beads and materials with the on point theme here with the moons and stars. So sweet. We have a adorable gift box which houses our very special pendant stone. And then our official orphan adoption paperwork, which is going to have some special information to go along with your orphan stone. So first, we'll get into the star of the show. Cute little additional electroplated pendant there. And then, oh my goodness. Oh wow, this is stunning. And how perfectly did it fit in that round box with the round shape that this piece has on one side. This says it's a blue banded agate Gemstone Orphan crescent moon. And of course, these are all going to be a little bit different because that's how gemstones are. That's what makes them special. And this is one of the different options you could get in your package if you pick this up. So as we're going through everything today, just keep in mind there might be a couple of variations. They're going to be just as nice, just as high quality, and the same value as what you see here. But of course, with stones in particular, you can't always get the exact same banding or inclusions. But I'm loving the fact that it's got this blue down at the bottom primarily, then a layer of some clear and white, which kind of reminds me of an ocean with some of the sea foam meeting some of this mossy green area, that little bit of a look of foliage, but a stunning overall mix of the greens and blues, and that crescent shape just showing off all those beautiful natural aspects of the stone. Of course, you see there it's got the hole that's located at the top, so you can use that along with your stringing materials, add a bail to that, whether that's beaded or maybe one that they've included in the findings, we'll just have to see. But that gets us started, and it's a perfect way to kick off the contents of the rest of this package. Briefly though, before we check those out, let's take a look at the paperwork so I can show you what to expect. So just like in their subscription, this tween box comes with the very important stuff page, including some helpful care instructions for your new Gemstone Orphan. And then our very official adoption certificate with your unique gemstone photographed in full color, front and back, identifying very closely all the different attributes of your stone, and this page describing what your orphan is called, its exact size, and giving you some other information about that particular type of material. Like I've said before, I think these make wonderful gifts too, especially with the adoption certificate. It makes everything feel extra special and a great reminder that all of these gorgeous stones are unique. At this point, we're going to check out our additional materials, starting with the strands. We're going to go down the list one at a time, although I might group some items together just because we have so much to look at. So I'm going to get organized and I will be right back. We begin with two of our blue banded agate round strands. We have an 8mm and a 6mm size, 25 pieces on the 6mm, 20 on the 8mm. And they're just loaded with that gorgeous cerulean blue, the teal, and capri blue tones that come together. Some of the striations showing up in particular in the 8mm size, looking a bit more opaque. That 6mm having a little bit more of the transparency, which is fun and really brings out so much of that refreshing shade of blue from our Gemstone Orphan pendant, giving us a couple of additional agate materials to put with that perhaps. Next up is a graduated rounds strand of blue goldstone. These are in the 4 to 8mm sizes, and you can see how some of them are a bit smaller as you get towards the end of the strand. And of course, that stunning starry night sky type of appearance against the very deep evening blue shade. Next to that is another strand of rounds. These are the 4mm hematite with metallic blue plating. And these have a little bit of extra weight to them, which differentiates them a bit from a strand of round glass beads. They have a hint of metallic shine and some of that darker teal. So these both being great complements to our blue agate strands, these two really pulling out some of those colors that we see in that type of stone too. On the strand of goldstone, that one contains 31 pieces, and then our hematite includes 45 pieces. And then next up, getting a little bit lighter, we have another strand of agate. This is called the blue weathered variety that is frosted and crackled. They're an 8mm size with 15 pieces included on the strand, with this selection being a little bit more matte in its finish, not having that shiny, polished appearance, which is a good contrast. And also, like I said, you can see the light-colored veining details showing up overall, and some lighter shades of the refreshing blue agate. And I'm just going to show you these next 5 together. These are the remainder of our strands that contain the shades of blue, starting on the left, which are the 11 by 7mm pressed glass leaves. There's 14 pieces. Those having a hole located at one of those narrow ends, so they'd hang down a little bit. And this variety having some of that AB or luster coating, adding a bit of shiny iridescence. And then second from the left is a strand containing the crystal discs with a grade A in the color blue. They're an 8 by 6 millimeter size, and 20 pieces of those included, with some beautiful sparkly faceting around the outside and then the flat faces where the holes are located. This third strand from the left includes 2 styles of the crystal rice beads. We've got the blue etched with the chevron pattern, 5 of those, and also the AB light blue, 4 of that variety, which has a lot of shimmer because of its faceting around the outside and a bit of transparency. You can see on those beads with the chevron pattern that is a bit more matte and frosty, with shinier and more reflective areas in between. Next is a length of 35 pieces of crystal bicone beads in blue opal. These are a 4 millimeter size, very shimmery and reflective with this lighter blue color, which can be a great intermediary between some of these crystals and other gemstone styles we took a look at. And next, I can't believe they've included some 2-hole check glass beads. We have an entire strand here of the Jet AB gem duos. There's 40 pieces included. You can see they have a jet black opaque glass base with the AB coating showing up on one side. That would be the top, which is where we see the different metallic blues, greens, and golds coming together. So we're not even done with the strand section yet, but just everything you see here, that alone, especially with the special Gemstone Orphan, is an excellent value for what you get, I think, personally. But just wait till we have everything laid out in full because we still have a lot to take a look at. We're going to be moving on to our next strands, which are a selection of glass pearls and off-white. But actually, before I do that, I want to make sure I also mention on the strand of leaves, that's where you're also going to find the crystal faceted lantern cut dark blue grade A beads. There's 7 of those included, spacing out the leaves that you can, of course, take apart from the strand and use in addition to those. They're just kind of spacing out those leaves a little bit, but those alone are another addition to our materials. You can see they have the faceting on the outside, and they are cut beautifully with that quality look and feel. And then here are our final 4 strands, the glass pearls that range from the 10 millimeter size rounds to 4 millimeter. So on the 10s, we have 15. There's 20 pieces of the 8 millimeter, 25 pieces of the 6 millimeter, and finally 40 pieces on the 4 millimeter. All of these coordinating, having that same off-white color and quality feel with that more realistic pearl weight, perhaps with more of a crystal-like core that you see in the higher quality glass pearls, and what feels to be more realistic, perhaps nacre coating, which is excellent for the longevity of this material and also that realistic pearl feel. I think that's a great way to wrap up our strands, pearls being so classic, and going with almost everything, but also being a great addition, I think, to this box as a balance to all of our shades of blue. For our remaining contents, everything is wrapped up safe and sound and bagged up and organized, just like what you see here, but I'm going to be taking these out of their little packages and showing you everything separately from this point forward. Some of the items hitching a ride together in their respective bags. This one looking to include some of the blue agate rondelles and the blue banded agate oval beads. So there they are next to each other. There is a selection of 5 of each. The ovals in particular, which coordinate beautifully with the beads we saw on the strands toward the beginning of the unboxing, and then those rondelles being a bit lighter and having a bit more of a grayish appearance. Not to mention these 2 providing additional shapes to work with, and we'll see a number of other ones too, which is fun because in addition to the strands where you get the larger quantities, we also have other beading goodies to sprinkle in the mix and add a little bit more layers to our finished pieces. Oh my goodness, this is incredible, you guys. So the next bag included two more types. We have the Sodalite Twisted Grade A rice beads in the 16 by 8 millimeter size, 5 pieces of those. And then these really unique looking 2-hole stone hexagon beads. They are agate, but they are dyed to resemble blue lace agate, which they really do. I love that shade of blue added to the mix, and just look at all of those contrasting white striations. And what a unique gemstone shape. You definitely don't see these every day, with the 2 holes running through the stones and that really cool hexagon shape too. With the Sodalite, you can see the mix of really dark shades of blue and some of the white and gray, those sort of reminding me of a sky. That one down there, maybe having some puffy clouds. These are a single hole bead. Everything still feeling very high quality and very special to add to the mix. Next up, some more stunners. We have a blue goldstone focal coin that is a 20 millimeter round size with a single hole going through the center at the side of that man-made stone piece. Tons of sparkle as well, like you come to expect with the blue goldstone. And then check out the lapis teardrops. Oh my goodness, so many beautiful blue gemstones included. Those have a hole running up and down the length of the drops. You get 2 of those, maybe make a coordinating pair of earrings with the drops hanging down. Some subtle striations going on in those beads as well, with layers of dark blue and even a little bit of some subtle gold sparkle in certain spots. Switching over to some of our crystal, we have 4 pieces of the faceted teardrops in blue opal. These are a Chinese crystal. 4 of these in the 14 by 16 millimeter size with its milky lighter gray appearance. And then a selection of 2 of the crystal hearts with the foiled backs in a 10 millimeter size, reflecting some blue and teal through the faceted face of the hearts, the hole going through the center. And there is a look at the back of one of those. Also in our glass, we have some rounds in the 8 millimeter size, 5 pieces of those, with that laser etched squiggly design all around the exterior and on top of the opaque white glass. And next are the 2-tone stars in blue and pink, 10 millimeters with 6 pieces of those, and you can see the hole going up through the center of those stars, of course, through that transparent glass. It has that 2-tone color variation on the exterior. And we're just now reaching the final part of the first page of our packing list, which ends with the 2-hole check glass crescent shaped beads in dark blue suede. We have 38 approximately pieces of those. I love the 2-hole crescents. Many of you have probably seen me use these, as they were one of the first unique 2-hole shaped beads that I had played around with. And I think that's a perfect addition for the Blue Moon box, of course, because of the crescent shape and, of course, the color. So what we're finding here is such a well thought out package, which provides value in and of itself, but also just look at all the amazing things included for the price. I can't recommend these enough, and we still have a lot to look at because they had additional items listed on the back of that paperwork. And I've still got a number of things here for us to look at, which further complement our Gemstone Orphan. All right, so I'm going to show you these together. From the back of our paperwork, we have a 36-inch length of leather cord in dark blue, and this can be a 1.5 to 2 millimeter size leather cord, which I think is a great addition because most people probably don't have the colorful leather cord like that. So if you want to work with some cord in your project, kind of cool to get the colorful style. And then on top of that, I'm just loving this 7.5-inch length leather cord with glitter powder. It's so fun, and a length that would be appropriate to use in a bracelet sort of a concept. I could see this being its own strand in the mix of a multi-strand bracelet perhaps. If you like combining some mixed media and different textures together, including different styles of beads, you could also create something with this that is beaded and perhaps slides onto this particular leather cord. But it's another really interesting item that most of us probably don't have that does coordinate with everything here and really starts to get your mind going and think about maybe using something different like this in a finished piece. They've also included several different styles of bails, like the platinum plated brass pinch bail in the 20 by 7 millimeter size. And there's also the gold and silver plated alloy bail options in two different sizes as well. The gold one being a little bit bigger at 8 by 11 millimeters, and then the silver one being 6.9 millimeters. So that pinch bail right there in particular being something that is ready to go, something that you could secure your beautiful Gemstone Orphan directly into, which keeps things simple and classic as one option for you directly from the contents. Also, some perfectly thought out additions with the cord ends, a couple of those in the gold and silver crimp style. Perfect size for the flat leather cord at 6 millimeters. We have two of each of those in both colors. And then they've also included in both silver and gold a variety of cord ends, ones you could use with the blue leather cord to finish that off. So I love that they've thought that out and included those pieces, especially if you don't have the particular size in your beading materials and supplies already, which means you don't have to pick those up separately. The next item is so fun. It is a chain with the moon and star links, the moons being open, the stars being a flat, solid shape, with those moon links and the jump rings in between being in small ovals, acting as areas where you could add some additional beads hanging down if you wanted to do some wire wrapping. And of course, you could trim off some of these different links from the chain itself and use them separately, even if you wanted to trim off, say, a couple of stars or use a moon style separately, maybe in a pair of earrings. There's lots of different options here, and also two different color tones of finding, so you have some choices. In our next bag, we find a variety of different styles of clasps. The gold showing up in this 2-strand magnetic clasp that slides together. There's also that pave crystal magnetic round clasp that pops together. A toggle style in the silver with the small heart detail. And then a hook and eye style in the heart shapes where those will hook together with that piece there used to secure them in place. Check out also the 3 different styles of earring stud findings, the 2 that are in the crescent moon shape. We have 2 that are stars with the cutout area in the center, and then 2 that are in the silver tone. They have the Tibetan style and 3 millimeter area there in the center where you could add in some crystals of your choice perhaps, or some finial style beads to add a colorful accent in the center of them. And of course, these all have the loop area at the bottom, which you can attach to your beadwork. Everything well protected and intact, and even more options to choose from. All right, next we have this fun lunar moon glass cabochon in an 18 millimeter diameter, but it says it glows in the dark. That is so cool. And unlike some glow-in-the-dark items, this already looks great even if it's not glowing. It's got lots of depth and different shades of blue with the smooth domed glass over top. The glow-in-the-dark aspect is just super fun and something different. Can you see it glowing in there? I was trying to see if I could get it to show up, but it's kind of hard to see with this setup. Those lighter areas though, that's where you see most of that glowing happening. And last before our final bonus section is a 36-inch length of some pretzel rope chain in antique silver. those links kind of spiraling around together, adding a little bit of extra density to this style of chain, but still in a relatively dainty 3mm size and still having lots of openings there to wire wrap onto or to leave just like it is. And then one of the last things in the bonus section is a selection of 15 various sizes and shapes of blue agate, lapis, and blue goldstone gemstone beads. Each assortment will be something different, so yours may look totally different from this assortment, but should be similar and include the different styles of stones with some additional shapes to add to your jewelry making projects. That's a really cool cylindrical style agate with the white banding. You can see some round lapis, some ovals, and also some round and oval blue goldstone, some tabular rectangles there, and also this chunky but polished and smooth rectangular style bead, which could even be used as a focal. The final item I'm seeing, I didn't see on the list, but I may have missed it. It's labeled as a bag of moonbeams and dreams, genuine moonstone. There's going to be some faceted 3mm rounds, some 8 and 6mm rounds also. So let's take a closer look. And here they are. Our final icing on the cake to this blue moon box with the addition of some additional moonstone. How perfect. And another white or neutral complement to all of the blue. Just love all that little faceting that adds a touch of sparkle to those tiny 3mm sizes, and then those special larger size polished smooth rounds. Let me add this final adorable pendant. This is the second item that was listed on the paperwork, a 22 by 19mm ion plated stainless steel pendant with the moon and cats design. Didn't want to forget to add that to the abundance of contents. So that wraps it up for the non-subscription Once in a Blue Moon Gemstone Orphanage tween box that is considered their August one-time purchase box, which is offered in between their subscription months of July and September. I can't say enough great things about what they've included and the great team behind these packages. It's just really amazing every single time to see so many different things come together in a box for this price. And of course, because of that, the number of boxes are limited. Like I said, if you want one of these, you're definitely going to want to hop onto their website, which is linked down below, to pick one of these up, because once these boxes are gone, they are gone. So as you can tell, I'm really impressed and I love everything that they've included. I'm so inspired by what is all together on the bead mat. I think they have hit it out of the park again. But those are my thoughts and opinions. Feel free to share a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the contents of this box or Gemstone Orphanage and their subscription, or anything else you'd like to say, because it's always great to hear from you. Also, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel while you're here, because even though it's been a bit quieter this month and for the next couple months, I can't wait to be back for more beading fun. And I'm so glad I could pop in and share this box with you. I so appreciate you joining me as well. So that wraps it up for now. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, but in the meantime, I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.